Okay. Hello everybody, this is Anya Devine here, coming to you from West Cork. And this is a painting I started for the lovely landscape group I'm teaching online, and I wanted to finish it on a little YouTube video, so that's what this is. And I'm kind of going to give myself just a short space of time to finish it because I just want to get on with the evening. I was going to go and have a swim there, and I kind of want to give myself a short time too because I don't want to go into too much detail. I'm already feeling like I'm saying, I've said what I want to say almost. It's just a few more bits. Like one of the things I wanted to do was to bring in the beach. Here there's a beach, and it's like there's little bits of water going in between the rocks. So I'm going to try and do that now before I finish, to explain the little bits of sea in between the fingers of the peninsulas of rock that extend out. So I've got some white and blue. I'm just going to mix the two together, and this is a tear-off palette here, and I can see, as I look out the window there, I can see the blue water. It's quite far away, so I don't want there to be too much of a contrast, but what's happening is that there's the reflection of the water. The reflection of the sky is on the water, and then there's little bits of rock that extend out into the sea that give more feeling of that area there. I might even pull my finger across it to lighten it and make it feel as though it's going to the distance a bit more. And I could use the same colour, just a bit more white in it, to describe the sky above. The sky here meets the edge of the landscape. Just using the 1-inch brush and cross-hatching. And I want to use a different brush to describe the greenery in the land here again. So there's the brown and the blue mixed together to make a darkish colour to describe the line of the ditch. And there's a line with my eyes half closed. Again, I can see some dark trees behind the blue house. Now, you don't really want the colours to be that bright as they go into the distance. The atmosphere is there's a sunny day atmosphere here now, like, and it means that there's almost a haze over the distant land, so the colours could be more muted, even I think more muted than I have them. So I'm just going to stand back and assess the situation. I haven't stood back very much, and it's one of the things that I really recommend doing, is standing back often so that you can see what it is that needs work, and what's working just fine. So as I stood back there, I recognised that I wanted to bring some more darks into the horizon line there to show that these are trees rather than the orange background colour. And it's not terrible because the orange background colour warms up the trees, which is appropriate because they do have a kind of a warmth. There's an orangey quality to parts of those trees too, but not to the trees in the foreground, and that's what I'm going to explain now with the cadmium yellow and the sap green, the trees in the foreground. I've got a light, bright area at the top. Might even put some white into that, I'd say, to give it a lighter tone. So it's sap green and cadmium yellow I'm using with the white to make the top of the bushes and the top of the trees that catch the light. And even I might stipple on, just get a dryish brush there and just stipple on some of that colour to give a feeling of the texture as well. It's all becoming a bit segregated, so by using this brush to stipple, it'll give it a texture of trees again. I wonder if Lily could take out the dog. She sounds like she needs a pee or something. Do you want to go out, Maisie? he's gone down already. That's where the blue house will be there. Yeah, this has got a bit more of a light green beside that field. And then that field there is the colour of the background. So I'll leave that the colour of the paper. And yeah, I'll bring some brown in for the, it's right on there. I've got some Van Dyke brown to describe the lower part. So below that orange field is a rocky area of dark colour. It's kind of Hooker's green, Van Dyke brown is what it looks like to me. And what it is, I think it's just the foliage coming down to the beach. So it's foliage and then there'll be rock underneath that. So I'm just with my eyes half closed, forgetting what it is that I'm painting again. I'm just doing my best to capture the colours, the shapes and the colours that I'm seeing. And subduing where I need to, because it's all quite far away, that stuff, so it's not going to really read as crisp at the edge. There is this bit of rock here that's dark as it comes into the water. Okay, getting a feeling for that now. What's happening here? There's some more green. And kind of cottages and caravans and cars in that area. Right. And that's Church Cottage there. And there's some trees up on the hillside too, like where the sky meets the land. There's a line of bushes and trees up there, which I wouldn't want to be too bright, but I want a big area of green. I don't know how that lobbed on. Wasn't meant to be there. Okay. Just want to do something. I want to do something to describe the wall, the harbour wall. I think to create a different colour, first I'm going to put a dark brown down, and then I'll just wipe away or something. I just want to give it some sort of definition. So using the brush there. Yeah, even just that helps, I think, to define it. And it'll be a different colour from the rest of the... It won't be the colour of the background there now. That wall has got some white in it. And it's not even... It might even have some purple. Let me just see what this looks like. I just put a touch of white into the brown that I had on the brush, and placing it and pulling down, placing and pulling to get a feeling of that. Yeah, I think that feels a bit like the wall. And I might use this colour just with a bit more of the green, Hooker's green, because I'm noticing now that I've got the dark on the wall, I'm noticing too that there are some bushes in the foreground here that are a bit darker. I hadn't really noticed earlier. Tide is on its way out too. Just a good time for them to go for their swim. Alright. I think I might leave it for tonight and come back to it tomorrow if I want to do a little bit more of the architecture, the church cottage and the blue house. I could go back to them tomorrow. But for now I feel like I'm a bit jaded from looking at it, and I think I'll only end up making decisions that I'm not too happy with if I keep going. But I do want to, before stopping, I'm just going to get some white and a little bit of the cadmium yellow, because there's a field over there that's maybe not quite the colour of the background, but it is yellowish. And I just want to establish that before stopping. And that one that's there too. and yeah, it's quite like the background colour, but not exactly. So I'm just giving it a little bit of, just muting it a little bit. And the tops of those trees needed to be highlighted a little bit more. Tops of those trees, I think, read as being brighter. And they come down to the studio and then they stop. And they're a little bit brighter there again. Okay. Yeah. And the bottom of those trees where they meet the field, the bottom of those trees was really quite dark. Let's re-establish that dark. And it kind of gives me a firmer footing then to describe the cottage and the blue house. All right. I mean, it's not groundbreaking composition or anything, but there are things in there that I'm excited to explain a little bit further, so that's good enough for me to feel a bit excited about that. Okay, so just tidy up here now because there's a little bit of paint got on the floor, and there's the painting so far. Thanks for tuning in. I'll do the rest of it. If I am doing more to it, I'll put it on YouTube as well. So you'll see the rest of it. It's just a 10-minute video to carry on after my Zoom recording. Okay, take care. All the very best. Tony Devine signing off here from West Cork. And see you next time. Bye.